The beginning after the end fandom. I am happy to be doing reviews for the series again, and we have our first real chapter where we can dive into it. So do me a favor, hit that sub button, share the video, share to other T-based spaces. Here, let's get it. So we start the chapter off with Arthur basically reminiscing a little bit about something he was told by Endrath. When he kind of like he froze space, and he told Arthur some advice or something like that. It makes Arthur question his decision to even do everything that he's doing. So I have absolutely no idea what the context is behind that. Please, again, no spoilers for those who may know if it's already been told. But anybody that doesn't, and if you have any theories or anything you want to share, please share it. Then we move on to Aldir and Varian, who have another small chat where they talk about possible Ashura interference. The breeding with Ashuras, the whole twisted thing with the vritra that they have going on. But Varian does seem a little nervous, if you ask me, about going into this whole meeting. But, we're moving on to the meeting where Sylvia and Arthur join with them, and they land on the platform where you can see two figures. So right off the bat, I recognize one of the guys. The more evil looking guy, his name is Uto. He is definitely the guy that killed Alea. And this is confirmed later on in the chapter, but I recognize that smile of his, and I didn't think that, too many people would look like that, so I figured he was probably a pretty unique character. This other guy named, I think it's pronounced Silas, he's a new character. Very interesting design. They have, like, demon horns and more humanoid, and he looks, like, much different from Uto, so I'm not sure if he's, like, a different race from Uto, or like how the Ashura breeding in the like I'm not sure how it all works, but they look like two different races within the army. But it appears that these two guys are retainers in the army, and instead of sending messengers, they came themselves. So I like Silas because he seems like the type, like the straight military type guy, where he shows respect to Aldir for being an Ashura, but he's there to do his job. But Uto is a little bit sicker. We already seen this side of him when he unalived Alea, so yeah. While he shows respect to Aldir, he also kind of slights him as well, and he even goes out to call Arthur out, saying like, "Oh, I didn't expect the boy wonder Arthur Lewin to be here." And I forgot that, the vritra basically infiltrated the mainland, and they pretty much know their inner workings of how the content, I forget the name of the content, they basically know like the inner workings of it and who runs everything. So of course they would have information on Arthur and him being like a key player in the army. So Silas delivers the message, basically telling them like, look, our sovereign wants everybody to bow down. You got to send all the royal families, and anybody that deserves to live will get to live. And I'm with Varian, like that's the ultimatum. Like that's not really a decision. But the ultimatum is, if you don't do this, then we're going to wipe everybody out. Am I surprised by this notion? No. They pretty much gave off this energy from the rip with everything they've planned and everything they've done. So, yeah, that's probably what's going on. So, Uto goes into more antagonizing nature. Basically telling Varian, like, look, at least you get a choice. I'll take it slow. I'll take it slow on you and your granddaughter. And I love Varian's reaction, because even though Arthur reacted, Varian's like, yo, I'm not going to sit here and let you talk about Tess, bro. Like, we not doing that. And I will say that's one of the things I love about this series. You guys know that I review Tower of God as well. And Tower of God doesn't really have family dynamics in terms of having close family relationships. Like, don't get me wrong, there are like the giant families, right? But we don't really get to dive into like the grandparents and the mothers and the sisters and brothers. Like, we don't get to really see the inner workings and how close people actually are. Like, the relationships aren't that developed. So when you see Varian taking up for Tess, which we've already know what their relationship is, I love the reaction. Like, you're not going to talk about my granddaughter, bro. Like, we not even playing them threats. So Silas tries to tell Uto to relax, but Uto goes in to continue, basically antagonizing. Arthur confronts him, like, are you the one that killed Alea? And, of course he's trolling the entire time, because I'm pretty sure he knew exactly who she was. But he goes in to say, like, oh, yeah, I cut up a few people. Oh, that elf girl. Yeah, she was pretty. Yeah, it was pretty messed up, man. It was pretty messed up, but I expected Arthur to react, but he really didn't. And that's how I know, like, Arthur has grown so much, especially within his training. Like, his poise to like calm himself and not overreact. But the conversation basically wraps up with Arthur saying like, if you ain't got nothing else to say, like, bro, I ain't even about to do this with you. And they go to leave. But the kicker is, as they go to leave, Uto, of course, continues to antagonize. And this is a tactic. Like, this is a tactic that you see in like sports, right? Like, you try to antagonize the other team by saying like, oh, like didn't y'all just lose y'all last 5 games, or oh, bro, didn't you get crossed over bad? Like, you say stuff like that to antagonize the enemy to get them upset and off their game. And he was trying this with Arthur, and Arthur's reaction is fire, bro. Like, Arthur, and you see in the thumbnail, Arthur turned around with a triple spell like mix, and you know, like, oh, that's cool, like cool trick or whatever, until that thing exploded, and it's like, yeah, I'm like that. Like, y'all thought y'all had information on me. Y'all know what I've been through, bro. They don't know how heavy our boy Hands is right now. Like, so I am excited. That was just like a real flashy, cool thing for Arthur. I'm glad he showed off a little bit. And the turnaround panel with him walking away with Variana out there, fire art, man, fire art. Yeah, the art is good, guys. Like, I don't, understand. I know some people are still being a little bit critical of it, and it seems like it's overall been good for most people in the comments I've read this week. Are there some panels that are lacking some details? Yes, but that's in any like manhwa that I've read, any manga that I've read. Like, some panels aren't going to get as much detail. But these last few, especially when Arthur after he shot the spell and he walked away, badass, bro. Like, absolutely top tier shit. So initially, my thoughts are chapter is good. I would probably rate it a 7 out of 10. The conversation didn't last more than one chapter. We got straight to it. We know that the war is happening and they have 2 days to decide. Pretty much straightforward. And I like the tension between the two, especially with Arthur telling them, when the chapter ends, I'll look for you on the battlefield, nigga. Like, when I see you, it's a wrap. So, absolutely fire shit. If I had a prediction, it would probably just be, we have to see what's been going on ever since like Arthur came back, his structure in the army. Like, obviously him traveling with them means that he's like a retainer, like a general in the army. I said this last week, but I think we probably go back and we get to see like his position amongst all the other lances. I don't even know if Arthur is actually a lance now. That'll be interesting to see if he gets that title because of his strength. And just seeing like how he works with everybody else, especially like the one guy, I forget his name, and you guys can correct me in the comments. The one crazy kid's brother, who does the flash ray, who tried to attack the other Ashura. I forget his name. Forgive me. I still got to catch up with everything in the series and remember everything. But yeah, him. I'm wondering what their relationship is like, because he's got to respect Arthur's strength, right? And Arthur can probably take him out now, right? I don't know, maybe I'm reaching, but I'm happy and hyped to see it. So other than that, yeah, guys, chapter 7 out of 10, pretty solid. Happy to be back reviewing tbate. You guys give me your thoughts and predictions for the next chapter. Tomorrow, Wednesday, no, it is Tuesday, I will be doing a stream with that and Tower of God, so please, I will send out reminders and you will see it up on your YouTube. Just make sure you're there to, go with the review. We're going to have a good time, talk about the chapter, and I'm going to know everybody's thoughts. So, till then, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace, guys.